Welcome to Wandering Monsters, the show where we find games that you've never heard of and play them so that you don't have to. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Sarah. Today on the show we have Storage Inc. This game was released in August, back 2009, by Stolp Scott Studios for a whopping $3 as an Xbox Live indie game.
As you can see, the premise of the game is you are forklift operators in the least well-designed warehouse in existence.
I'd like to imagine that you're the actual forklift.
Just you're embodied in the forklift?
Because you don't see any people. I'd rather be a forklift.
Well, I mean, that's certainly possible. But metaphysics aside, the point of the game is to drag these boxes from the inputs, put them in the outputs when they're required, and not miss any or fail to get in the output on time, I guess.
Yeah, basically the underlying object of this game is to try to stay organized and not get stuck in clogged corridors, of which I'm just really terrible at.
I want to point out at the beginning of this video, before we get a whole lot further, that I am the green forklift and Sarah is the red forklift. I don't want to be attributed to any sort of bad driving.
This game is stupid.
Yeah, there's a weird kind of, I don't know, addictiveness to this game. It plays a lot to my OCD kind of desire to move stuff and have things look nice.
Yeah, it would either be an OCD person's worst nightmare or greatest pleasure. I'm not quite sure which.
It's like my game OCD that wants me to. This is us failing our first map. Oh, here it comes because Sarah's in my way.
Yeah, it's always my fault. This game is terrible.
Yes. So having had a rousing success on the easy map, we decided to move on to a normal one.
Because that made sense.
Yeah, why not, right? I want to point out that we played all on normal difficulty for all of these. We didn't dumb it down at all. This game is hard. Just hard.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. It's interesting to see how it scales, too, with multiple players. As you can see, there's always 2 more extra forklifts that aren't being used, so it's up to a 4-player game, and I have to imagine that the more people you add, just the harder it is. You just keep bumping into each other.
Yeah, especially this is a big map. Some of the smaller maps, I don't know how you can have 4 people actually moving around at the same time. I mean, it'd be easier in the sense that you could have multiple people moving stuff around at once, but harder.
Yeah, no, it's trickier, because as you can see,
Sarah,
boxes and stuff.
Oh, and here we go. Before I'm going to interrupt Sarah for just a second, we have the first instance of a phenomenon known as pulling a Sarah. Just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sarah driving over the input, here she does again, right as an input comes out.
Yeah, you can't have anything in that area when a new box comes in, or you lose one of your little box points. And if you lose 3
strikes,
then you fail the map.
Out. You're fired.
So even just driving through that area like that means you lose, which is stupid when it's the only area to drive through.
Not a whole lot you can do about that, I suppose. Here's our sole winner of the night. We played, I don't know, five maps or so. We only won 1. I don't know why this one went so much better than the rest of them.
Open space.
Maybe.
Corridors. Yeah. Stuck in. No, this was it's just a bizarre little game. Which, is why we played it, because that's the point.
That's the point, yes.
Of this series, but I mean, it kind of reminds me of sort of the mobile games, because it is just sort of this little, list of puzzles, different levels, different, setups.
Sure.
Same purpose, but, without the horrible mobile controls.
Yeah. Though it does, as you can see with us having some difficulty driving around, there is some control issues with this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking top down and you try to move your forklift, I think I kept trying to press up to go up, and that's not always the case.
Yeah.
It's in relation to which way your forklift is facing. I mean, I guess if you were used to those kind of controls, it wouldn't be a problem, but I can't remember the last time I played a game with that specific setup. I'm used to just 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Go up, go down.
It's not absolute, yeah. It makes sense, I suppose, especially if you are the forklift that Sarah posited earlier in in the show that you would move in that way. This is actually like I said, our sole success, which you'll see coming up here in just a second. We will complete a map.
Yeah, the object is to get rid of the little stack of papers on the side of the screen by delivering enough boxes into the A and B platforms. We did so well.
Yay, we succeed. Alright, so we're going to move on to our top 3 things we liked and top 3 things we didn't like about the game. So, let's go with the bad. Oh, the good first? Alright.
Go with the good.
I'm representing the good this time around because I really like this game. The first thing I really liked about this game was it's hard. There's a lot of games that aren't hard out there, and this one is not one of them. As you can see with us struggling here, where to put things. It certainly is challenging. The second thing that I like about it is it takes... it's a puzzle game without the kind of standard puzzle mechanics, which I'm glad. And the last thing is it's $3.
Yeah, you can't really...
It's $3, people. I mean...
Yeah, that's always my rationale.
An evening of fun pays for itself.
Just do it. So, the 3 bad things about it. No real music in this game. You get the soothing sounds of bumping into things.
And forklifts going up, down,
Yeah, and there's absolutely no music, and I feel like a game like this could have benefited from like a zany little soundtrack and some really cool
We actually spent
music.
most of the evening listening to Deathclock while we were playing this.
It just went really well with forklifts.
Yes.
I don't know why. Like I said, like we touched on before, the forklift controls were a little wonky. Sometimes it just seemed a little too difficult to get your forklift to go the way you wanted it to go. Just too difficult. Also, I didn't like that it doesn't tell you when new boxes are coming in, because I would have known not to be in those squares if it would just tell me. You get a little yellow sticker, and that's it. It doesn't tell you when. So I thought that was a little unfair. The game's already difficult enough. But overall, despite my problems with it, I would recommend it for $3.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, as far as this one is a lot easier to get than the one we did the last time around, and yeah, $3.
Yeah,
get some friends over. I imagine it's much more fun when you're drinking.
Most things are much more fun when you're drinking, so I would have to agree with you there.
Alright, that's going to be it for this week. We'll be back in another couple of weeks with another ridiculous game for you guys to watch us play.
Check back. We'll see you later.
Bye.